No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 worst prequels of all time for us. Now we have
a lot.
Now Solo's out in theaters right now, and it's pretty much getting some mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people can't stand it.
Right.
Majority of people that can't stand it are critics. But what do they know?
Exactly.
Either way, there have been some ones that are unanimously hated by everybody. So Terrence, go first.
All right, so there is a lot of crappy prequels. Some prequels are not even supposed to be prequels. They're just kind of supposed to be just another part of the story. And then some are just like cash grabs. I think mines were, I didn't want to just focus on the cash grabs because I thought it was too easy. So I focused on some ones that were actually meant to give you more of the story.
Okay.
All right, okay, so number 5! Alien Covenant.
Alien Covenant. Yeah. I liked Alien Covenant.
I did not. This movie was crappy. It was crappy on a science fiction level, on a scientist level, on an alien movie level. It basically took the original Prometheus, which I actually did like, and said all the stuff and all the goodwill that we built in it was just flush it down the toilet, because all the stuff was like, hey, I'm gonna go on this trip and I'm gonna find out what the engineers really wanted, and then they just basically said David killed them all. And then they gave you this whole story about David, which I really didn't care about. Look, I know he's a great actor, and I know that he can do things, except for Assassin's Creed. He's a great actor that he can do things that will up the ante in the films, but the movie did not need to be around him. It needed to be about Shaw's character, and they just totally trashed that. And then this whole thing where like he wanted to create life was stupid, because you just sold me on the engineers. I want to know what the engineers are doing. Why are we here? Not why the aliens. I want to know why we're here. Maybe it's religion for me. I'm sorry.
I disagree. I still think that it kind of like it pushed you a little bit closer to Alien. The effects were great. You're not buying any of this, are you? No saving you, Alien Covenant.
Dude, look,
you know what? You don't hate Alien Covenant.
There was a ship full of scientists and found a planet, and they decided to go to the planet with no sciencey stuff. Look, it's like, hey, look, we've never been on this planet before. Should we wear like masks and stuff for like all the alien life and stuff?
I'm gonna give in here. How about this? If you hear static and you hear somebody's voice, just change the channel. Keep going.
Number 4, I'm gonna go with. Holy crap! I didn't write it down.
All right.
I did write it.
My favorite movie.
Tremors 4.
Tremors 4.
I love Tremors, and every time they disappoint me when they do a sequel.
Tremors 2 was like passable. Barely passable.
But then they tried to do a prequel in Tremors 4. It was like,
that was horrible. How does Michael Gross...
By the way, how do you do a prequel to something that they just found out these things existed?
Yeah, well, don't they die and nobody was witness? So my question is, how does Michael Gross how did he get stuck with the Tremors franchise?
Because he's not doing Family Ties anymore.
Bring back Family Ties.
When they bring back Family Ties, then he can stop doing Tremors films, because I've seen, like 6 of these things already? There's a new one like on Netflix. I've seen like 6 of these things, and like they just keep getting worse. And like you said, he will not leave this franchise.
And hey, Tremors the series with Kevin Bacon could be making a run. So
I might watch that. Well, who am I lying? I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
So number 3. All right, number 3. I went with. This is the only one where I felt was a cash grab, but it's just not good. When Harry Met Lloyd.
Dumb and
Dumber, which I thought was a catchy title, but the movie was just stupid. It was one of those things where they could not be the original cast. They just couldn't do it. It was nothing they could do. The jokes are always dumb. It already had passed its time, and it just made it more annoying.
It was 9 years after.
Yeah, it was just made it more annoying.
So they should have just made it Dumb and Dumber 2 and not waited 20 years, but whatever. I'll give you that one.
All right, so I mean, that is all around bad. And when they finally got around to doing the actual sequel,
it was worse.
That movie bombed too.
No, when they came around to doing the actual sequel with the actual actors,
yeah,
you were begging for When Harry Met Lloyd. Number two.
All right, so number 2, and this is more of a recent film, but like I said, I wanted to pick things where the studio wasn't just cash grabbing; they were actually trying to tell you more of the story. And it's Insidious: The Last Key. that movie I thought was just not good.
You said that you actually liked it.
No, I said that movie basically gave us two things. It told us how they got the Geek Squad outfits. It told us where they got the van from. It told us what her child life was like. All the pointless stuff. And stuff I did not need to know. I didn't need to know any of that.
Where they bought the van?
It was like, oh guys, we're gonna go out, but you need to change your outfits. Here's your Geek Squad outfits that I stole from the design from Best Buy. So, well, I guess they were before Best Buy, right? So, so here's your Geek Squad outfit.
Better buy.
And it was like, hey, this is our ghost van that we're gonna drive around in. And it was like, oh, here's my crappy childhood and how I actually realized that I actually could talk to. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We only care about the red door and the further
and the Darth Maul looking.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we cared about. I did not care about her story. The whole movie, I kept saying like, we gonna do something else? We're gonna do something else?
Where's the second to the last key?
Yeah.
Number one.
All right, so I knew this was a movie, but I didn't see it until last month.
Okay.
But when I saw it, I was kind of excited about seeing it because it popped up on one of the little apps I have for movies. Not a bootleg one. I think it was on the Roku app. And it's Cruel Intentions 2.
Oh shit.
So I was like,
no Reese. No way. No cheese.
No Ryan Phillippe, no Reese Witherspoon, and that's fine because I guess you're gonna show them younger and they're already older now and stuff like this. You can't do that because this was a prequel.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
So the whole thing is they're showing how they became brother and sister, right? But then it's like, even though, in the original film, they made it awkward attraction between them two, they made it more awkward attraction between them two. So it's like, I didn't understand how you could up that without calling it straight up incest, but no, they did that in this film. I mean, not incest, but they straight up made it more awkward. And the simple fact that they recast it and the people that they recast it as weren't as good as the original cast, no way. There was Amy Adams was in this.
Wow.
Amy is like, she's not even credited in this movie, and I bet you by choice. And because normally when an actor becomes bigger, they were like, oh, even though that you weren't credited before, we're gonna put you on it.
Man, I'm gonna be can you
exactly?
Can you not put me on this?
Exactly. So so she's in it, and I didn't realize until I actually saw her on screen. And then Robin Dune. Can you remember that guy and all the great things that he did?
Yeah, he was in Dune.
Yeah. No, you can't, because he did nothing else, and he was no Ryan Phillippe. I'll tell you that.
Alrighty then. Well, my number 5 is actually the crash grab. Flintstones, Viva Rock Vegas.
Did you expect a lot out of Flintstones?
No, but why would you even freaking dare make this movie? First of all, he is not John Goodman.
No.
She is not whoever the hell she was. Rosie O'Donnell or whoever. No, Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it was Rosie O'Donnell.
Who's the first one?
No, Rosie O'Donnell. Was she Betty?
Yes. But who was the one in this one? I don't even remember. See how bad it was?
Yeah, I look, I watched the first Flintstone and I didn't see anything else.
Here's the worst one for me. All right? Stephen Baldwin looks nothing and cannot even compare to Rick Moranis as Barney. Okay.
Because he had done like
I'll give you Biodome. Yeah. Great. But you are not Rick Moranis. You can't act like Rick Moranis. You cannot be Barney Rubble. But
he was more Barney Rubble than Rick Moranis was.
No, he wasn't.
He was more Barney Rubble than
No, he was not. Rick Moranis is Barney. Well, no. Rick Moranis is actually Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But
yeah, so it's like
Louis Tully.
Rick Moranis is a great actor, and I take nothing away from what he did, but Stephen Baldwin was a better version of Barney Rubble than Rick Moranis was.
Then you give no way. Then you give me.
I don't care for this movie. I'm just defending the fact that Stephen Baldwin was a better Rubble. Barney Rubble.
John Goodman was a better Fred Flintstone.
Yes.
All right.
I will give you that.
Give me that one.
I will give you that one. Just why I said John Goodman should have been in Jungle Book.
But either way, that movie sucked.
It did suck.
Number 4. The Oz, great and powerful.
I did not hate this movie. All I found out was that the Oz was a pimp.
Oz was a pimp. There ain't nothing behind this curtain. Look that way.
No, it's like he kept making out with chicks. Everybody wanted him. The Wicked Witch of the West, of the East, of the.
Because he's Franco, baby. Nobody mess with Franco. Was it half Italian, half asleep?
There you go.
I think Mila Kunis is probably the best thing in this whole movie. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But other than that, beautifully shot. I'll give you that. Beautifully shot.
They had a great budget.
Great.
Maybe we had some of that budget on Spawn.
Yes, please. but the movie overall was just no. I did not like that movie whatsoever.
Number 3.
And you know damn well well that this has to happen, because if you're talking about bad prequels, which I'm shocked that you did not put anything on there.
I didn't put.
You gotta have a freaking Star Wars prequel on there, and that is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
No, dude, it's Episode 1.
Episode 2. Episode 1 had the pod race. 2 had Darth Maul in it.
And that's literally 5 minutes of the movie,
And
sir.
the fight between Maul and the 2 Jedis was freaking awesome.
5 minutes of the movie.
And Duel of Fates.
The
music was amazing.
All that happens in the same scene.
I don't give a shit.
In the same scene.
It was way better than Attack of the Clones. There was nothing about Attack of the Clones that I liked whatsoever, except Ewan McGregor. That's it.
In the
Ewan McGregor.
Jango Fett fight?
No.
With Obi-Wan?
No, he goes. It was okay.
The pit fight?
Samuel, and that's it. It's over. And Jango Fett's up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. I did not like that movie. It could have been so much better. To be honest with you, I think that half of Attack of the Clones, if they would have just done a little bit of Attack of the Clones, cut it, added Revenge of the Sith, and made Part 3 something entirely all Vader, then it would have
No, it's just the franchise, the prequel should have started with Attack of the Clones.
Number 2! Van Wilder freshman year. You
I did not
cannot
put this on my list because I knew you were putting it on.
You cannot replicate Ryan Reynolds' Van Pool. You cannot replicate Van Wilder starring Ryan Reynolds. No way in hell. Okay, he was absolutely perfect
Yeah, you
as
can.
Van Wilder.
You know who it's Dane Cook.
No way, not even close. Don't
dude.
even ever compare Dane Cook to Ryan Reynolds.
Dude, have you seen the roles that Dane Cook takes?
But he is
Those
not-
are roles that Ryan Reynolds turns down.
But what are you talking about? They were both in Waiting.
Very true. But it's like that's when they first met. The same way I talk about with John Cena meeting Mark Wahlberg in Stepdad.
No way. There are some similarities. I gotta give you that. There are.
He absolutely was it Good Luck Chuck? That's totally was a Ryan Reynolds film. That was totally was a Ryan Reynolds film.
So then you know what that means?
What?
That when Disney gets Deadpool, it's gonna be
recap
Dane Cook. So that was my number 2. Number 1. You had it in your top 5 as in the mid there. Mine it's absolutely number 1. Dumb and Dumber. When Harry Met Lloyd was absolutely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I tried to watch it, and you had some decent comedic talent in there here and there from freaking old like SCTV days and all that. You had some decent I think Eugene Levy was in it.
Yeah.
But other than that, crap. The freaking dude that plays Jim Carrey's character, he was good in like not another teen movie, stuff like that.
Right.
He is not Jim Carrey. No freaking way. And he tried. He really tried.
Well, I mean, you had to go that level. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
if you don't go that level, then everybody's going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and what's the level? How low? So low. So that was my number 1 dishonorable mention.
Oh, sir, it's like I didn't put episode 1 on there because you don't hate episode 1.
You don't hate it.
So, but I mean, I guess you can put it on there if you wanted to. I also put on there Van Wilder freshman year. But that's really it. It's like, I mean, because there's things that I did not like for prequels, but then most more just like they did it just to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, like there was a puppet master prequel. I mean, come on.
Yeah. What about the Annabelle creation?
I actually liked it.
It was all right.
Yeah, I actually liked it. I was like, I would've put
was
that on
going
there.
back and forth, but it was.
I mean, you could do
fine.
Texas
It was
Chainsaw.
alright.
Was it Texas Chainsaw at the beginning?
Yeah, that was bad. I don't even know why they made that. Cash grab. That was one of the ones.
It was a cash grab.
Cruel Intentions 2. No, that was on my dishonorable mentions. And so was Psycho 4. Even though I like Henry Thomas, he is no Anthony Perkins. No way. Terrence, take us home.
All right, guys. I'm sure. Look, there's tons of them out there. Chris, if you're writing a list, because we ain't seen one of your lists in a while, make sure you put some below that we didn't touch on right now. So I mean, or if you guys are actually new to the channel, it's the first time you've seen it, it's the first video you ever seen for top 5. Make sure you put a list down below so that way we can kind of look and compare and see what you guys have come up with, because there's a crap load of crappy films. And if this is the first time that you're on the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so that way you know about all the other videos that we do release.
If there's any other top 5 that you would like for us to do, just comment below. Let us know what interests you. There's a lot of stuff coming out this summer as far as blockbusters and movies that aren't even going to be that, that are going to be kind of like surprises, some sleepers and stuff like that. If you wanted us to do top 5 sleepers or just anything like that, put it on the comments below.
Yeah, there you go.
For Aspen and Art, wherever the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And we'll see you next time.
Who's always here.
My brother freaking said, dude, your good rants are better than your podcast.
Oh.
He goes, because he was talking about the Wong decision.
Oh. Yeah, we had so many damn likes on that one.
It's fucking hilarious, dude.
I was like, there's certain topics that we really get into, and it was like you get to see it in one piece, and it's like the shit that we kind of breeze through. It was like you get past it. It was like, so it's just, oh hey, here's something funny we did.